Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today on another episode on this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if this is your first time here, and also ding the notification bell for future videos. In today's episode, we know that Disney will be ending a Skywalker saga with Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, this Christmas. And with them ending the Skywalker saga, I believe this will come at a price. Now, you can make the case that Disney never really started or continued the Skywalker saga with the sequel trilogy, and I believe you would be 100% correct on that. But however, it did kind of have the Skywalkers around, even though they weren't the main feature. But with Star Wars Episode 9, it is officially the end of Luke, the end of Vader, the end of everything associated with the Skywalkers. So now, there will be a price to pay. Now, we saw in The Last Jedi, our favorite Skywalker, Luke, was killed off. He's coming back in Episode 9 as a Force ghost, and really, no one expects him to have much of a role in Star Wars Episode 9. I think he will probably have about 15 minutes of screen time in this film. And I really do think this is going to be the longest Star Wars film made yet. But now, going forward, going into the future of Star Wars movies, they're going to pay a significant price at the box office. One thing that we have noticed is that the new characters that they have created, Rey, Kylo Ren, they're not box office draws. They're just not. People are not showing up to the movie theaters to see them. We even saw with Solo: A Star Wars Story that you can use the name Han Solo, but if you don't have the real Han Solo in it, people will not show up. Now, The Last Jedi had a lot to do with that. I truly believe that. But now, we're going into uncharted territory. Benioff and Weiss are going to be making their own Star Wars trilogies with no Skywalkers attached to it, no Emperor, no Vader, no Palpatine, no nothing. Now, will they use the old legend stuff? Probably so, but they're probably going to create their own material. And we saw what happens when they don't have material to work with. It could be an epic failure. Now, Disney Star Wars, they don't have the best creative minds out there. You know, J.J. Abrams had to really kind of rehash A New Hope. Rian Johnson, he did something completely different, and it looked horrible, and it was horrible. Now, going into the future Star Wars movies, George Lucas left them with a lot of books, a lot of materials, a lot of story treatments, and it's pretty much been thrown out of the window. Now, will they go back and use those story treatments and everything like that? Probably not. They're probably going to give their creators their own leeway to make what they want to make. And if the right creators aren't in place, the future is doomed. Now, I think a lot of people show up to the Star Wars movies mainly to see the Skywalkers. I really do believe that. So I believe now that the $1 billion gross box office receipts for Star Wars, that is over. I don't even think Episode 9 is going to make $1 billion. I said it will make $900 million, and I'm sticking with that. And that's $900 million with the name Luke Skywalker attached to it. Now, if you take away Luke, you won't get that. Now, I'm not saying that they won't make a profit on Star Wars films, but the bit paydays, those days are over. They are gone. I truly believe that. Because if they continue to let people make characters like Rey, who nobody likes, you're going to pay a price for that. You're really going to have to pay a price for that. Now, Old Republic is pretty much a bunch of characters that we have never seen on screen before. There is books and everything like that, but I do believe that the creators of any future Star Wars projects are going to have their own material. And they're going to create their own material. Now, getting away from George Lucas Star Wars to me is a huge mistake. They really need George Lucas to be on board if they want to make things right going forward. Now, they kicked George Lucas out of the back door as soon as the ink was dry on the paper. They wanted nothing to do with him. They wanted nothing to do with his Star Wars. That's why Harrison Ford's Han Solo is dead. That is why Luke Skywalker's character is dead. And some people even believe that Leia may get killed off in this movie. I don't see that happening because it would be a sensitive situation considering that Carrie Fisher has already passed away. I truly believe that Chewbacca and Lando Calrissian are on the chopping block to be killed off because they are part of George Lucas Star Wars. And if you look at what they're doing with Galaxy's Edge, that is all Disney Star Wars stuff. They want nothing to do with the past. So now they're going to pay a price, a huge price at the box office with their failure to respect the past. You're going to get a lot of future characters, I believe, with no story or arcs, and they're really just going to be uninteresting characters. I really do believe that. I hope that's not true. I hope Benioff and Weiss can use some of a brain that they have. You know, they did create Game of Thrones. I mean, seasons 1 through 4 were really, really good, even though they had source material. Rian Johnson, he is just a buffoon. We saw what he did, and he is supposed to make 3 Star Wars movies that no one is going to see. Now, it would be poetic justice if his Star Wars movies actually lost money at the box office. Because what he would do with a Star Wars movie, a new trilogy that he is creating, I can't even imagine how horrible it would be. But that's just my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this? Ending the Skywalker saga. Is it a big mistake? I believe it is, but maybe you don't. So guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.